It's 10 o'clock and we're going live. We're going live, we're going live, we're going live. Hey, how you doing? Looks a little dark to me. I think I could use a little ISO. Let's get that fixed. Let's get that fixed. Oh, let me check and make sure I didn't screw it up. I do things like that. Hey, it's December. Okay, so, I try to remember. Yeah, that looks a little. Okay, so let's go back to the Carlos pad. And this time I got to remember to unplug because I did this once before. And guess what? I pulled the whole plug out. So I be back. I be back. I be back. Hey, welcome to December. Okay, let's see what Peter did. I moved it to ISO. Yeah, that's better. ISO 8. Hey, it's December. Welcome. Where am I? Okay, so we are on live, coast to coast. How's the saying? East to west, coast to coast, and around the world. We are live with the ZR Mark I. Let's prophesy a Mark II. So we are in December, and I didn't see you last Friday. I kind of missed you. Okay, so this is what the ZR looks like, and let's compare it to the Nikon. Okay, so this is the Nikon Z6 Mark III. Mark III. So this is the Nikon Z6 Mark III. And did I go live? Do I have... Can I get a witness? Oh, I see Scotty's in here. So, Scotty, am I live? Woody, am I live? Hal, am I live? Norm, am I live? Now you know who's in the room. It's all my buddies. Okay, and now this is the ZR with the 50 millimeter. I don't remember which one's on here. It's either the 1.8 or the 1.4. There's so much to catch up on. Oh my God. What a difference too. Well, we had Thanksgiving. Did you enjoy your Thanksgiving? So, okay, Woody says yes. Thanks, Woody. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's lock this camera down for a moment. Okay, and the reason for that is I plugged in the USB power, but it doesn't seem to be registering. So if this camera goes blank, we're going to have to take it out of the loop. Okay, so I'll just say that right up front to give you a little warning. Let's get a little bit comfortable in the Christmas chair at the Christmas desk. But you got to admit, dang, that's a pretty picture, okay? I would say that's a prettier picture than the, don't tell anybody, than the Lumix S5 Mark II. So if I had a choice between this and the Lumix S5 Mark II, I think I would take this guy. I think the image is just nicer. Well, I get maybe it's to my maybe I'm being a little bit vain. So I'm used to looking up. So I have the camera mounted right to the left. I don't think more than 3 inches to the left of where the Lumix is. So if the battery does die on this, we can go over to the Lumix just by plugging in the HDMI cord. So that should be simple as pie, whatever they say. Okay, so, hey, I keep wanting to say hello. So let's talk with you guys first. Let's start with Woody. Woody has been burning the midnight oil with the bird pictures with the snow. We just put some up on Facebook. Yes, Woody, I watch. I do's watch. Boy, I could tell you one thing on the Nikon ZR. I could see this what do you call it? 4-inch LCD screen a lot better than the LCD screen on the Nikon Z6, and I can't hardly even see the one on the Canon R6 Mark II. I was going to say Mark III, but that's what's coming out. So we're staying here for the moment in terms of switching cameras. I turned the switching cameras off for the moment. And the reason I did that is because this is the star of the show tonight. Okay, so we'll get into the settings and stuff like that of what I can remember. Norm says, Merry Christmas. Well, it's December, so I get I'm getting the Christmas movies. Okay, so the Hallmark Christmas movies and the Great American Family Christmas movies, I am so happy. Happy, 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 yes I am. Oh, happy, 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 yes I am. Oh, happy, happy, happy. Anyway, so Hal, how are we sounding? That's a private joke. So what's Norm saying? It's a cool -1 Celsius in Toronto this evening. That means it's just under 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's it. Like Miami is. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, let's hit weather. It's actually 74 degrees right now. So this is when I would turn off the compressors. I do have the air conditioner on in here at 72 and the compressor's on. So you guys tell me what you're hearing. I have all the fans on, normal. And this would be what it would be like, excuse me, in the summertime. All right, so in the good old summertime, this is what it would be like. So what I mean by that is the compressor would have to be on, because now it'd be like 90 degrees outside even at 10 o'clock at night. So right now it's 74. It's supposed to go down to a low of 67, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Let me check. I'm on the weather. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's 10 a.m. Let's go to 10 p.m. All right. So that's what we got. So it might be because tomorrow starts in a new day, but I don't see it dipping down much below where we are now. Okay, so let's clear this up, but I will leave the phone on in case of emergencies. You guys that do have my phone number, you can call, but please don't call while I'm live on the air unless it's an emergency, because I am always curious. I want to see who the hell's calling me. Okay, so I'll leave the phone right there. Boy, that is a pretty picture. And I'm not even using the red part of the camera. Okay, so the reason I'm drinking, hiccup, no, there's nothing in there, is I have kind of gotten off my very, very low sugar diet, and definitely not on the carnivore diet, which is where you eat heavy meat, basically meat, bacon, eggs, and you could use butter. Okay, so I have gotten off of that slowly, and I've been feeling worse and worse. It's just the general overall feeling. Not feeling all that good. Okay. So Thanksgiving, I overdid it. We had, I have a new Instagram, so I put pictures. We had a chocolate cake and pumpkin pie, pecan pie. Oh yeah, the food was there. Of course. But you could tell what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on not the food, I'm focusing on the desserts. That's what I like. Chocolate cake, and my niece makes, I don't know how she does it. She makes the most moist chocolate cake I have ever, get the drift? Okay. So I had like a regular size piece, sugar, Okay, pumpkin pie, whipped cream, sugar. Whipped cream doesn't have a lot of sugar, believe it or not. Pecan pie. Oh my God, I have to tell you. I can't tell you. I just can't do it. How good it was. Okay. So that would be on a Thursday. So Friday, a week ago, oh man, I was feeling pain in my stomach. I just felt like, hey, it feels like any moment this is the time to go home. Okay? I mean the sky home. All right? So I said, oh, I have to do something. So I tried Saturday to go right back on carnivore, but I failed. I failed miserably. Okay? There's just something about carbohydrates. There's Danish in the house. There's leftovers. And I tried to be good, and I just wasn't. So starting Sunday. So Sunday, let's say Sunday half a day. So let's go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is my 5th day back on almost no sugar. No sugar. And, or if anything, just very light carbohydrates. When I'm talking about 2 or 3 grams. So carbohydrates is what sugar is. But I didn't start to feel better. And I started to realize that, you know, this whey protein that I have, I figured I'll have the whey protein shakes a couple of times a day. And then in the evening, I'll have a hamburger or eggs with some American cheese, real American cheese, not the processed, you know, where you open the slices and peel it and stuff. No, I go to Publix and I get sliced American cheese. And so I started having that. And it somehow, I don't know what happened, but it ding-donged in my head, you know, that the whey protein powder that I have has got a lot of lactose, and I'm becoming very lactose intolerant as the time goes on. So I did some heavy searching, and I found what I'm drinking here, okay? And I did put a half a teaspoon of coffee in here, not decaffeinated, which is what you would have normally. A smart guy would have that at night. But I get the sleepies during the show sometimes, and I can't stand it. It's like I want to, nod out. So I put a half a teaspoon because when I put a full teaspoon 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was up till 6 in the morning. I'm talking about instant coffee. So this time I put, when I went to Publix today, actually, as a matter of fact, I bought Folgers because I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't know what's good coffee and what's not. By the way, cheers. So I bought a Folgers Classic Roast or whatever it's called, Classic regular instant coffee. And then I bought another bottle of the same thing, decaffeinated, because Randy has kind of gotten me into, he goes out in the middle of the night, and he'll call me or I'll be talking to him, and he'll go at 10, 11 o'clock and get a frappe mocha. And it's like, I want one too. It's chocolate syrup and coffee and oh my God, and whipped cream. It sounds so freaking good. So anyway, long story short, I looked on Amazon. Doesn't everybody shop on Amazon? Even though the company is not the most wonderful company in the world in terms of things that they do with their money. But where else are you going to get the stuff? Okay. So I'm just starting to share what I did this week while I've got the Nikon ZR up and running. If the power goes out onto that camera, if the battery dies, I'll have to switch over to the other cameras. But while we got the juice, we're going to cook the goose. We're going to be live with the Nikon ZR because now you're seeing what it is doing. Okay. I have it set. What do I have the Nikon ZR set to? So I'm not running the red. I'm running the standard profile fixed the way I like it. So when I get a new camera in hand, so this camera just arrives today, and it didn't. This is my FX2. So the FX2 actually replaced my uh, A7c Mark II. And here's the two of those guys side by side. Okay. So what does the FX2, why did I give up the A7C II? Because this is a handy dandy camera to walk around with. Okay. But this is handier and dandier. This one, I'm holding the FX2 higher. So this one's got a fan. The A7C II does not have a fan. The FX2 has a dual card slots. The A7C II does not. What else do we have? We have full-size HDMI ports on one port on the FX2. The A7C II doesn't. But I really got very hooked on using the A7c Mark II. And I really, if it wasn't for Randy pushing me off the cliff, okay, our Randy, we're buddies. I'm buddies with all of you guys. Scotty, Woody, Norm. Norm is the only one, Hal, that I don't talk to on the phone. I'm going to have to figure that part out so I can converse with him on the phone. Anyway, I got very attached to the A7c Mark II, so I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to keep it. And Randy says, but why? Loosen up the money. You're having a hard time right now. Yeah, I am. I'm having a hard time now financially. But what else is new? You guys have been through it. I go through it, and then I get fine, and then I go through it again. So Randy says, release the money, buddy. So I put the camera up for sale. I looked at them, the A7C II. I looked at them on B&H. They're used for $2,000. New for $22, probably $2,300. Okay. Adorama is used at $1,950 or something to that effect. B&H is $1,900. So I listed mine at $1,850 up on Facebook Marketplace, and everybody always wants to bargain. But you do get those people that lowball you. They're looking to buy something and then to flip it. No, no, no. Nay, 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 as John Panay would say. Nay, nay. Okay. I'm not looking to supply the flippers with cameras. All right. Just fixing my shirt here. Because the colors look so nice, at least over here. I hope the colors look good on your screens, whatever you're watching. Now, everyone's screen is different. So I actually target for the iPad. The iPad gives me the best middle ground for Windows computers, Apple computers, Chrome, Safari, whatever the else is that's out there that you could be watching it on, because they're all different. It used to drive me nuts. I would look so great on Chrome, and then I would switch over to Safari, and it was like, oh, that doesn't look so good. So how do you find how to color a camera? Seriously, how do you handle a hungry man? Do you remember that commercial? How do you handle the all these different monitors? So the iPad seems to be, the iPad seems to be the most inline. That's where you do your coloring. Now, even this screen that I have here, which is on my desk, is calibrated. Actually, the closest thing to the iPad is my iMac, my 2017. Quite a few years on it now, right? My 2017 iMac. That gives me the best color calibration. So the journey that you'll be on is you'll calibrate it, you'll check your videos, you'll look and see what you're doing, but you're doing it on your own equipment, and you'll actually be saying, that looks nice. And then you'll go to your relative's house or friend's house, and you put yourself up there, and it's like, Dad, don't be nice. All right? So it does change from monitor to monitor. And I learned that the hard way when I used to ask you guys for help on bringing in or zeroing in or fine-tuning the colors. So Scotty would say, oh, this color, you need to add more yellow. And then Sly would say, oh, it's too much red. And then it would be here with Randy, and it would be there with Jim or Norm. And it's like, hold on, you're driving me nuts. How do I get this thing? So I do a test video, I get my iPad and I look at my iPad, that settles it. That gives me a decent color every place, a fantastic color on the iPad, and a good color here on my, what is this? I think this is a 55-inch TV. Is that what this is? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So I have the 55-inch, and I'm using the 55-inch regular television, but it is a 1080 television. That is what I'm running my eCam through, so I can watch and see what I put up on the screen. So I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, I was telling you my story for the week. Okay, so I put the A7c Mark II up for sale. I am getting the low ballers. I've got it listed at $1,850, and I'll let it go as low as $1,800. Okay, so if anybody here is interested, but I don't think anybody here would be interested. But it would be a good camera. I could recommend the camera. I prefer this camera above any other camera, including the ZR, including the new A7 Mark V. But in those areas, specifically the ZR from Nikon and the A7 Mark V from Sony, and this is my choice, but all three of them are recommendations from me, okay? Because these cameras that they're working and they're releasing now are so good, none of these cameras are bad. There's none of them. You'd be happy with any camera. So you need to find out what feature you want. You want a fan? You got to go with this guy. I want a fan. Okay, you want shutter angle? You got to go with this guy. I want shutter angle. However, what you're looking at right now is actually set. It has, the ZR has shutter angle, and I have it set to 180 degrees. So you go, but Peter, I'm not that involved in the video and that and this. Well, you know what? 180 degree shutter angle, what it does is it saves your bacon. Okay, because it'll always give you the correct shutter speed so you don't start getting stuttery pictures, jittery. Difference between stuttery, jittery, judder, these words are different, okay? So the camera that you're watching now, the ZR, does have shutter angle. Actually, all of these cameras except the Z6 Mark III, and I'm not sure if the Z6 Mark III has shutter angle or not. I'm thinking it doesn't, okay? So they're all high-end cameras. So you want the red technology? You don't have a choice. Okay, unless you buy a red camera for $30,000, you have to buy the Nikon. We are a combined Nikon technology with red technology, and voila, you get Peter Gregg looking like this. And I haven't even turned on or kicked in the red technology. I don't know how yet, but so anyway, I started to tell you I'm low on the sugar. I tried to find a whey protein powder. See how I'm mixing everything up? So this is what you call a hybrid Peter. Okay. So what I did find was this. And you know what? I've been taking this. Thank you, Jim, very much. I have been taking this. Let me get the mouse. And let me turn the overhead camera on. Okay. I have been taking this now. I don't know. I think this might be my third day on this. So there is no, on here, there is no, I'm trying to adjust the camera while I'm talking to you. All right, so there's no whey, there's no milk, there's no lactose. Okay, it just seems a little bit bright. If I lower it down a little bit, you could probably read it better. Let's not lower it down too much. Okay. All right, and if I turn it around, let's see what the. Okay, these are the key things that I will start to read. Now I don't know if you could read this or not. Okay. Number one, I want to see how many carbohydrates it has. I'll go up to 8 on a protein powder. This has 1. Okay, and it also has one fiber. And many people subscribe to the formula that whatever it is in fiber, it cancels out the carbohydrate because it keeps the carbohydrate from actually digesting. Therefore, you're not really digesting any carbohydrates here. So we'll just take the one, leave it at face value, okay? I can't zoom this anymore, guys, sorry. All right. And then the next thing I look at, it's got to have a decent potassium, but down here where I'm sure you probably can't read this, I don't want soy product in here. Soy is bad for your heart, your arteries. Okay, it's bad for men, but that's not where I'm targeting. The soy is, you know, anything with soy. You look at mayonnaise, your first ingredient is soybean oil. No, that is very bad. You think you're eating good, but you're not. All right. So this has no soy in it. Okay. It does have sunflower lecithin, which that is medium controversy. There's a group that likes it and a group that doesn't. Okay. So it's got grass-fed beef protein, vanilla flavor, coconut milk powder, which is fine, cinnamon, sea salt, stevia. I would have preferred monk fruit, but stevia is okay. It doesn't have sucralose, which is a form of Splenda, okay? And Splenda makes my stomach burn like a mother, okay? So this is, I figured this has got to taste bad. It's got to taste like crap, okay? So, but guess what? It actually does not taste like crap. It actually tastes very good. So we are doing very good. So I'm either on the second day or the third day, and I don't have that intense stomach ache that comes and goes. If I go out to cut the grass or something, I'll get a burn that goes all the way up, and it's so strong. I promise you, I think it's my heart. Okay, that there's always things that fake you out. So I think it's my heart, and I did some cutting, I did some weed whacking, and that protein powder, I can recommend it. And it's beef, and it's organic beef. Let me turn it around. Okay. So I was kind of led to that. I always give credit to God on these important maneuvers. Okay. Even the whey protein powder that I have is clean. Like this is clean. But I didn't realize I've been packing myself with lactose. Okay. And it's been giving me like a heartburn, but it's like a throat. You what do you call that? What's the tube that goes up and down? Esophagus burn. Okay. And it settles right in here. And I don't know if it's gas getting underneath my rib cage or what the hell it is. But so I switched to that, and I have 2 or 3 of these a day. So I haven't been babying it. Okay. So, when I say I haven't been babying it, if I feel hungry, I'll make another one. This has 96 calories. Okay. 1 gram of carbohydrates. And as long as it doesn't bother me, it's giving me, let's see what it does in protein. 20 grams of protein. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay? So, Sly taught me that. I just keep doing it. Sorry. So, I did one for tonight, and I put a half a teaspoon of regular, not decaffeinated, regular caffeine coffee in here so that I don't get the sleepies. All right? So, what time is it? I made it through half the show. I'm wide awake. I'm probably going to be wide awake at 3 in the morning. Probably going to be wide awake at 5 o'clock. But I can't almost fall asleep on my show. I've had that happen twice. It's a terrible feeling. And I don't know how to wake up from that. And I'm sure any one of you would say, have some coffee. And, well, I am. So I'm taking your advice. And the winner, winner chicken dinner is it tastes really, really good. Okay, so all right, so we are on the ZR. All right, so let's close the overhead camera. I showed you that. So what else did we have that was unique this week? Well, we did have the Sony A7 V come out, and guess who's got the hots for it? My buddy, Hal. No, not Hal. Do you have the hots for it, Hal? No, Jim Monday. And he's got the Mark IV. Now, I told him I would prefer he bought the FX2, but he likes the A7 Mark IV a lot. So you see how things can fit for you differently than it would fit for someone else? So I had no problem whatsoever moving to this body style. I love this EV that goes up and down. Oh my God. They were slamming this camera left and right. Don't listen to the FX3 people. They have nothing to do with the FX2. No disrespect to them, but the FX2 is not a camera for them any more than they would buy an A7 Mark IV or an A7 Mark V. So this is basically the A7 Mark IV sensor, but it's a little bit different. So the A7 Mark V from Sony has an AI chip in it for the focusing, for the recognition of subjects. It's got their best focus system in it. Okay? So does the FX2. How did they do that? So they have two processors in their standard A7 Mark IV camera. Let's say the Sony A7 Mark IV. There's two processors, the Bions or something like that. Okay? Well, this one has that also. But they have a processor designed strictly for the AI functions. And that's in the A7R Mark V, and I'm sure in the upper end cameras. Well, they came out with a new chip where they took the both processors that's in here and the third processor that's the AI processor, and in the A7 Mark V, they combined it. They married it all into one processor. And my guess, my uneducated guess, that is why they were able to have much less heating problems. Gerald Undone, who's pretty reputable. I like to use him more than anyone else. Like I went to B&H, and they said the A7 Mark V, it's right there on the specs, that it's a crop sensor 60p and 120p. Well, Gerald says it's not. Well, guess who I believe? Guess who I believe? Okay, so yes, so 60p is full frame. Now that is a big to-do for some people. For me, it don't make a hill of beans because you know what? I use crops. I was going to pick it up. I use crop sensor lenses on my FX2, and I use full frame lenses. Crop sensor does not bother me, not even that much. Okay? Now the next guy would say, I could never, ever shoot anything but full frame. No, I'm going to be very nice because that's their preference, and I need to respect that. I really do. And I do respect it, in case you think I don't. But it's nothing. Like Open Gate is another thing. It's a YouTube content creator's talking point. We have to blab about something. We're on the camera. I'm on live. I have to talk about something. Oh, it's got Open Gate. Yay! Yay! I've been watching a lot of John Panay. All right, so I'm starting to mimic him. Open Gate does nothing. Take 3 steps back and you got the damn Open Gate. Open Gate means it shoots the whole sensor, and then you crop later on. Long, this way, 16 by 9, 3 by 2, okay? For Instagram, for whatever gram, okay? By the way, I did restore my Instagram. So look at the name of this channel. It's Peter Gregg Live. What's the name of the channel you're watching? You mean you don't know? You don't know the name of the channel you're watching? It's Peter Gregg Live. Get out of the line. I guess the caffeine's starting to hit. Here we go. I'm getting ramped up. Okay, so it's Peter Gregg Live. So guess what the name of my Instagram channel is? Oh my God, you guessed it. You are so freaking smart. Okay. Yeah, it's Peter Gregg Live on Instagram. So, I also played around a bit this week with my website. I added a blog, which means now I have to write stuff. Okay, so I've written some stuff. I've got one regular blog. Oh, Peter, how do you get to the blog? How can you tell us you have a new blog and then you don't tell us where it is? Go to petergregg.com. That's my name. Nice to meet you, Peter Gregg. That's me. Okay? Go to petergregg.com. Scroll down a little bit and you'll get a nice big sales pitch on my A Better Bounce card, which again, I don't have one handy. I don't know who's running this place, but they're not doing a great job. I did get an order this week. Thank you, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Those things are good. I use them myself on my flash units. I got 3 flash units and none of them have one on there. Okay. So if you scroll down far, go all the way to the bottom. The heck with it. You'll see Peter Gregg's blog. You go there. I'm still working on it. It's set up now where they're like in a very summary format. When you get to the blog page and when you click on one of the blogs, it'll open up. I got pictures of the camera I'm selling. I got anything else that I want. And they're very nice and pretty. But on the main blog page, it's just summary. Now, I did see that some blogs come where they're in squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a sales window. And it actually looked a little more appealing to me. And I need to find where that setting is because I'm going to probably switch it over to that for a while and see how I like that. So every time I write a new blog post, it'll give me a new square and move the other ones down by 1. It just seemed more attractive. Another little shot of caffeine here. So if you want to know what I do when I grab a new camera, it comes in the door, here's the review unit. I have learned over the years, so this is not, well, this is an opinion, but this is fact. This is what I do. And the reason that I do it is it works. Okay? I go directly to the standard profile. Yes, there's neutral, natural, neutral, vivid, landscape, flat. You got all those, and they're all user's choice. You use what you like. Why isn't this seating properly? I'll just fix that up and then put my glasses on. There you be. I'm enjoying looking at this 4-inch LCD screen on the ZR. So I do have the USB. The camera hasn't shut off yet, so I don't know how long this battery is going to go. Okay, but if it shuts off, like I said, the charger is not getting warm. It's not getting warm. You would think if it's charging or supplying power, it would get warm. Okay, so I'm suspicious. So if the camera goes blank, well, I'll just switch over. It'll just be a mouse click. Don't get upset. Don't jump up and reach to the sky and pray, Jesus, help him. He lost the camera. No, I'll just switch over to one of the other cameras. Not that big of a deal. We got 4 of them connected in this room. Okay? And they're all 4Ks. All right, so I'm purposely staying here because the title of the show is the ZR, Nikon brand spanking new ZR. Came to me from Randy. Okay, thank you, Randy. Everybody say thank you to Randy for letting me use this camera. If it wasn't for him, Peter Gregg would not have a camera. Why am I talking in third person? Better stop that. Okay, so I don't even see Randy in the room. He's sleeping. He went to get his Jamocha shake, and he's probably sleeping. So I can tell you right now, I'm very pleased with the picture. And I really haven't, I just plugged it in, honest engine, because I've been walking around taking pictures. I shot some, what do we have, those peacocks out front, and one ran across the yard, and I put a lens on there, and I ran outside to take the pictures. Camera does great. And the focusing, I'd have to say, is one of the most sensitive focusing cameras that I have used. I would say that the Sony FX2 and the ZR are equal, and if one was a little bit ahead, I would say maybe the ZR is a little bit ahead. So kudos to Nikon. They really did good. So if you see people bitching and moaning about this ZR, I haven't found something. Well, yeah, I could. Okay. I could, as a YouTube content creator, where I want to make a video so I could slap a video up for people to watch it, because when people watch my videos, it gets advertisements, and then YouTube pays me, but they don't pay a lot. Okay. Where you make your money on YouTube is in the sponsorships. It's not in YouTube paying you for the ads and stuff like that. So don't be thinking, I need subscribers. I need subscribers. No, you need views. When you get views, they could place ads, okay? And if you get a sponsorship from somebody, they go by the views that you get. They don't give a crap how many subscribers. Now, the subscribers that you do get will bring legitimacy. So it's not like I have 200 subscribers, okay? But that's one of the keys on YouTube. But they try to talk, and they need talking points, and they'll talk about all these different things that really don't matter. And we start to believe them. Well, that camera doesn't have open gate. Well, screw you. It doesn't have to have open gate. You want open gate? Take 3 steps back. You got open gate, because it'll be the same view that you would get if you were right there. Okay, so let's say I need to take a picture and I'm here, but I go like, oh, I'm so sad. My camera doesn't have open gate. Well, do this. Now you got open gate. Why? Because I got a wider field of view. That's what open gate does. It gives you a wider field of view. Think of it kind of like Micro Four Thirds is super cropped. And people say, well, you know, I just can't get wide enough. Take a few steps backwards. Get a wider lens. I mean, people act like it's the end of the world. So you've got to be careful what you let inside your ears when you're watching. Oops, I just bumped my mic. Sorry about that for your ears. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Don't believe everything you read out there. Honest to God. Think it through. So what is open gate? Open gate is it's not cropped 16:9 or 3:2, and it's not cropped 9:16. It's not cropped 4:3. These are all legitimate camera crops from the past. Okay, so the 4:5 crop is basically what we used to have in pictures years ago, when you used to have 4:5 pictures. So a 4:5 print, an 8:10 print, a 16:20 print, a 24:30 print, they're all what cameras used to shoot, okay? And that's how your pictures were actually shot. But your 35mm film was actually bigger. So it's actually what they call 3:2. That's the ratio. So all of a sudden, you're no longer getting your prints back in 4:5. Now you're getting your prints back in 4:6, okay? And then it follows through. 4:6, 8:12, 20:30, 16:24 might be, if I'm trying to remember it. All right. So those are the prints from, and they still exist. If you go to a Costco that's got the prints, they still have those sizes. Okay. So what open gate does is allows you to crop the way you want, because it's using the full sensor of that camera. Okay? But eventually you will have to crop it. If you're going to print a picture, you're not going to print in open gate. Otherwise, you'd have black lines here or black lines here on your print. And on YouTube, same difference. It'll be black lines here or black lines here. You could put open gate, but it'll zoom it, okay? And most people won't know that there's black lines because you'll be looking at it on your phone, and it will just, you know, when your phone turned black like that, you don't realize that black lines are there, okay? So don't fall for the open gate trick. I got to buy that camera because it's open gate. Nay, nay, you don't. That is a YouTube talking point. Now, there is sometimes when you do want that. If you're going to shoot anamorphic, or there's something that you've got, a workflow that just works for a specific reason with open gate. But for most of us, as even professionals, professional wedding photographers, they don't need to be shooting open gate, okay? Now, it's there, and for that guy that knows what to do and knows how to use it, my baby loves love, my baby loves love. She knows what she's got, and she knows how to use it. What's the name of the song? Huh? Quick, what's the name of the song? Who's paying attention here? All right, so anyway, the ZR, I don't know if it's got open gate. After all that blabbing that I did, I don't know if we got open gate or not. It doesn't matter. But I know that this guy, the FX2, does not, okay? So, but do you see me boo-hooing about it? No, you don't. So, the A7 Mark V doesn't have open gate, and the A7 Mark V doesn't have shutter angle. But it's got that new processor where it's all built into one, and it's one of the better consumer Sony cameras that you could buy. But if you came to me and you didn't have a preference, like, oh, I have to have the old style camera with the hump on the top, I'm just used to that. That's what Jim Mundy said. I'm used to that. That's what I want. Good for him. That's 90% of your problem is done. I know what I want. That's what's hard to pick out with a camera, the I know what I want part. Everybody's got all this FOMO crap that they go through, where they got this fear of missing out, so they go from YouTube content creator, and yes, I know who they are. I'm tired of watching them. I'm tired of watching me. Okay? The only one that I go to quickly, where I will get honest feedback on the things that I care about, stabilization, the ports, what kind of ports do I have, what kind of resolution and dynamic range do I have, is Gerald Undone. Okay? So we used to be friendly, and I think if I write to him, he would answer me back, but we never got really friendly, okay? And that's fine. No problem. But you got to remember, all these content creators, they got to make videos to serve them to you. So tomorrow is Friday night. We're going to be watching, there's 2 shows. We got Mr. Camera Junkie to watch live. Okay, he's very, very good. Can highly recommend him. And then you've got Jeff Neville, which Randy is a part of that group, which is 95% Nikon. So you come in as a Sony guy, they don't like you very much. They're not mean. They're actually all very nice guys. But they're very heavily tilted towards Nikon. All right? So you've been watching me close up. Now let me give it a little bit of width. Okay, this is a little bit more natural. And here we go. We'll lock the camera, meaning I don't want it to change. All right, but if you do want it, let it go ahead and change. Okay, so here's the Canon R6 Mark II. Obviously, I don't have Mark III. It's not on the street yet, but even so, I'm moving mostly out of Canon. Okay, so this is what the Canon looks like. Let's lock it down for a minute so you can get a good idea. This is what the Canon looks like. And Canon has gotten better and better with its pictures. The focus system on the R6 Mark II, which is their current hot, flagship in the $2,500 club, like I call it. But I noticed the $2,500 club is now the $2,800, $2,900, and $3,000 club. So you see how they're squeezing my butt cheek. Get your hands out of my wallet. Okay, so that they went from $1,999 to $2,000 $22.50 for the new cameras that were coming out. Okay, then they came out at $24.99. I call it the $2,500 club. So all the Nikon, Sony, Canon were all coming out at $25. Now $28, $29, and $3,000. Okay, that's another reason that I like. But once you buy it, that part is over. But this camera is $200 or $300 cheaper than the A7 Mark V. For some people, that'll make a difference. So I almost feel like a salesman for that. Time to have a shot of caffeine. No, I'm not feeling sleepy. I actually feel good. I should stop drinking this, honestly, because it's going to keep me awake. But the protein powder, surprisingly, for as clean as it is and being different and not having all the other shit in there, it tastes darn good. And there's no guilt in having that. Have 2 or 3 shakes. Put it in the blender. Zip it up. You got to use a blender. You guys that do the shaking up, and no, I'm not doing a bad gesture here. Okay? It's just not, it's not going to blend smoothly. Get a blender, put it on the counter, plug it in, learn to wash it, turn it upside down or put the cap on it open so the air will get in, and use your blender. It'll help you if you're trying to get healthy. Being on a diet is one thing, and being healthy is completely different. Okay? I'm shooting for the health, and guess what? The blessing that comes with it is the weight comes off. So I'm feeling, a week ago, I felt crappy. Okay? The sugar really hits you hard. It's poisonous. The sugar is actually poisonous to the body. And the reason the sugar is poisonous to the body is it kicks off your organs like the liver, okay, pancreas, kidneys, to do destructive things to your blood flow, which eventually is going to bother your heart in one way or another. So you've got all that going. The camera still hasn't shut off, so I'll bet you the USB power is getting into the camera. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, because the battery should have died by now, don't you think? Why should it black out now on me? All right, so now we are rotating. We're going to rotate now to, what camera are we going to? I think we're going to go to the Nikon Z6 Mark III. All right, so here, this is the Z6 Mark III. I love this picture. I think this picture comes across, I don't know how it looks on your screen, but this is the Nikon Z6 Mark III, and this picture is pristine. The only picture that would compete with this, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to put bad things in your mind. Okay? But actually, all the cameras that I have right now, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, only 4 are connected because I've only got 4 slots. All right? So the one that I disconnected was the S5 Mark II. So I have this, when we get there, the ZR is connected through an HDMI. And not last Friday, but 2 Fridays ago, I said I need the mini thing. And you know what? Hal went out, bought a full HDMI to mini converter, and it was here the next day on Saturday. How did he do that? I don't know. It's witchcraft. How did he do that? Okay. But he had it here the next day, and I was actually shocked. Okay, we're back to the Nikon ZR. So this is running through the micro or macro, the mini, whatever, the right name, the smallest one of the HDMIs, because they didn't put the full-size HDMI in here. That is one of their biggest sins, not the fact that it doesn't have dual card slots, because they actually snuck in another card slot. It's just not as usable. It's the micro SD card. You just keep it in the camera as a Hail Mary, okay, and then use the other one for in and out. And then instead of complaining, I only got 1 card slot, well, you do have the other. Use it as constant backup and just let it keep rotating round and round, okay? I used to do that with the CF cards. No, they weren't called CF. They were CF because now it's CF Express, okay? So The bigger sin on this camera is not the fact that we only got one card slot running. The bigger sin on this camera is the mini HDMI. So if you start to use it heavily for your video, and let's say you want to build a cage, or you don't want to build a cage, but you want to add, an external recorder, or you want to do like I'm doing, you got to plug and unplug, plug and unplug, and after a while it'll break. That little mini tiny HDMI. So I have an adapter going from the mini HDMI to the full HDMI. So what I did is I unplugged the I unplugged this S5 Mark II, okay, and I plugged the full-size HDMI into the converter that Hal sent me. So thank you very much, Hal. That was an amazing gift. Actually, Hal set me up with this whole sound system. So if the sound system sounds good, you could give a word of thanks to Hal. He spent more than 2 days to step in here and straighten my my ass out on the sound. And I think we're sounding pretty good now. I mean, so many of us have gone round and round and round on what microphones to use, and I brought in my full condenser singing mic, and I had it in front of me. Now you don't see a mic in front of me, okay? Now we went directly from the ZR to the Z6 Mark III. Okay, so you can see how close I got them with each other. Let's just back up real quick so you could do your own comparison. Okay, so this is the ZR here, and then this is the Z6 Mark III, Z6 Mark III. So the Z6 Mark III is no sleeper. Don't be thinking it's a sleeper camera, because it ain't. Okay. But let's go to the Nikon ZR and stay on that for a moment. That's too close. Okay, I don't like to see myself that close. I got more room. I unbuttoned my pants. Now I feel better. Okay, so that's what we got. All right, so let's get back to the people in the house. We do have Hal. He says, hi. Love you, Hal. Love you, Norm. Love you, Woody. All right. And Woody says, 3 inches of snow at my house. Yeah, I told you. The snow is hitting there, but he's still getting pictures of the birds in the snow. Snowbirds. Okay, I make dumb jokes. Dad jokes, as they call them now. Instead of, they used to call it dumb jokes. Now they call them dad jokes. So, Scotty, love you, buddy. So there's Scotty. Yay, it's Friday. It's Friday. Pop, 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 pop. Mallory. Oh, Woody says, yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm live. I did ask. Here's Sammy, the big boy. Hi, everybody. Love you, Sammy. How you doing? He's in a week or so, he'll be coming home from college. He stays at the college at the dorm. Okay. And I'm very proud of him. He really buckles down on his studies and pays attention, and actually Sammy he would be our highest resident red camera lover. So Sammy is eagerly looking at this camera, because you get a full fantastic camera like the FX30, okay? And then you go, Sammy might say, but what am I going to do with all my lenses? Well, that's the unique thing about this camera. Okay, I have the Megadap something 21, and guess what I put on here? I put all my Sony lenses, and that Megadap adapter, I don't think I have a link to it, but I'll try to find one and put it in there. That Megadap adapter makes all my Sony lenses work on the Nikon system. And don't think that isn't, what do you call it, a Hail Mary. Not even a Hail Mary. It's just something you get used to. There's really no handicap to doing that. So, Sammy, that's how you could move into the red system. You buy the adapter, and you want the newer one, because the newer one will work with the PZ lenses, the power zoom lenses, where the one that I have will not. You will still have to power zoom on the lens itself. That's why they have the Megadap 21 Plus. Okay, so that's what you got going on there. So I think the ZR looks better than the Z6. I like to hear that. That's pretty good. You know, the same sensors and stuff. So I guess I have to take the credit. I'll take a bow. Thank you very much. And here's my buddy Jim. Good evening, Peter and everyone. Happy Friday. He might not be here because he falls asleep. He takes medication and woof, he's gone. Okay, but if he is still here, hi Jim, love you. He did call me and say if he buys the A7 Mark V, he says send me a link so that you get the credit on B&H. So that was very nice of him. So they will give me whatever commission that they will give me. Boy, this protein thing is good. I'm glad it's better than crappy, you know, because usually with a really good protein powder, sometimes it doesn't taste so good. So Hal is saying the audio is good. Well, coming from Hal, that's a big good. So I appreciate that. Nobody noticed that I got a haircut, and nobody noticed that the entire audio system in here changed. Well, the audio system is thanks to Hal, okay, and the haircut, I do my own hair. So if you're gonna shoot me down, take it easy. Here's Roy. Good day, Peter. From a wet, cool day in Melbourne, Australia. 20 degrees Celsius. Hi, Roy. Love you, buddy. Hi to your wife from me. He always talks about his wife. I'm just checking. There's nothing wrong. Okay. I actually, I guess Hal would be the one. I actually have this. See, it's behind my mouth. So I was able to push it back, pull the wire through, and now it's behind my back. My mouth. So this is where the capsule is. It used to be out here. Okay. Turn sideways. It used to be out in front of my mouth. Okay. And then I pulled it. It's about level with my mouth. So if you don't like that, Hal, make sure you let me know. Either text me or you could say it here unless I don't get to the end. I see lenses. My mouth is watering. No, I'm trying to hide the lenses. I don't like everybody to see what lenses they're on. Boop, boop, boop. Why they usually pre-made leftover from making cheese? Oh, no, the way is the liquid. When you make cheese, when you make yogurt, okay, that if you buy a thing of yogurt from the store, and you open it and there's liquid and you pour it in the sink and then you have the yogurt. Same thing with the sour cream. If there's liquid on pools at the top, that's the way. That's the whey protein. Okay. Hey, my buddy from New England. I think he wrote Rhode Island. Hey, Peter, the ZR looks good. I love this guy so much. He's one of my best friends. So many of you guys, I made them the best friends in my life right here. Okay, and you guys have taken me through the highs and the lows, and you all mean a lot to me. When Jingles was killed, you guys came to my rescue. Okay, when I was going through the court battles, you guys came to my rescue. When my health is not doing so good, right here, Peter is a nutritionist, and he tells me, add some salt to your water. Why don't you add salt? But not the salt shaker salt. It's got to be Celtic sea salt. Okay, or he likes the what's the red Himalayan salt, second best. He likes the Celtic sea salt, number 1. Okay, so I did get a headache either Wednesday or Thursday. I stuck my finger. No, I poured the salt in my hand, the Celtic sea salt, which is the one that Peter told me to have. I wet my finger. I went like that, so now there's salt all over my finger, and I started just to lick it off my index. You know, in about 20 minutes, the headache was gone. So what happens is when you get involved on, low carb, what's happening is your body burns sugar. That's why you get the afternoon lows. That's why when you run out of energy, you need a Snickers bar. And they advertise that. Get the energy and eat the Snickers bar. Stuff the sugar down your throat. Okay? Because your body is burning sugar. That's what it burns, the carbohydrates. And when I say sugar, I'm not just talking about table sugar. Spaghetti, that's sugar. You go to Burger King or Chick-fil-A or wherever, McDonald's. Popeyes is my favorite. And you get one of those sandwiches, sugar, sugar, sugar. You eat lunch if you're out working in the field and you're in construction work and you get hungry. In lunchtime, the whistle blows, you load your body up with sugar, baby, and it just burns and burns. Now, when your body switches over from burning sugar because you deprive your body of sugar, it knows very well how to burn fat. Look at the lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my. They burn fat. They're not burning sugar. They don't have Snickers bars out there. Okay? So when your body switches over to burning the fat instead of the sugar, you get a headache for a while. Your electrolytes are balancing out, and people go like it's the keto headache. Lick some salt, but the good salt, not the salt shaker, the blue thing. Get yourself some Celtic sea salt. It's got a lot of minerals, and the Himalayan salt even has more minerals. That's why I don't feel guilty for having that and not listening to Peter. So, anyway. Thanks for coming in, Peter, saying hi. Roy is saying we should all calibrate our screens. Hal says there should be a standard among all devices. Yeah, I'm with that. Okay. Let's get Donald to sign one of those things that he signs with the Sharpie. He uses a Sharpie to sign. I gotta pick up my Sharpie. It's hiding. I gotta make it so if I want to pick something up, I'm gonna pick it up. Okay. So there's my Sharpie. I could sign a presidential order. Okay. So he should sign one that says there's got to be a thing across the board. Now they did that with the Tesla. All the cars are switching over to the Tesla supercharger plug, and they call that NACS, and a national North American standard or whatever. Okay. Now Volkswagen, General Motors, Ford, and the reason for that is financial. It's so they could sell more cars, because if your car could charge up at the Tesla gas station, where where you can't unless you own a Tesla, because all the plugs were different. You have the other kind of a plug, which is not the better kind of plug. So now they made a deal with Tesla, and I would say we're up to 80, maybe 85% of the electric vehicles now have the Tesla charger. You can go to a Tesla supercharge, plug it in, and charge it up. And it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Roy says his iPad screen is too old to be calibrated. I never knew those could be calibrated. I never kept mine is straight out of the box. Hey, Carlos, happy everybody. For everybody and Peter. Hi, Jim Mundy. How's everybody doing? Randy, where are you? Randy, Car 57, where are you? Okay. I love Carlos so much. I left you a phone message. He doesn't want to get in conversation with me, because once I get on the phone, you're on the phone for a while. I like Open Gate. Okay. I don't agree with you. You get maximum resolution no matter what. You actually lose resolution when you shoot Open Gate and you have to crop. But then again, that's my opinion. Could be wrong. Hey, Peter and chat, is Bellringer trading? Now, I got a question. Are you trading stocks, commodities, pips, or anything like that? Because I used to do that. So the guy that I like to follow is called Dale Trading or Dale Trader. So thanks for coming in. Hey, Peter and chat, love the new headphone mic. Yeah, it gives me kind of freedom. The only thing is I walked away and it is plugged in. And it's bam, I pulled everything out of the I got it hooked on here instead of being hooked on me. I do have a 25-foot cable, but I hooked it onto a static box to the side of me, and I just got to remember. So, same. What model and connector is your headset? Okay. We went through hell, Hell, trying to get the damn, and you could make it stronger, microphone to work on anything outside of a camera. So they take power. You don't think they take power, but they take power. Okay? So John, listen to me. This is by hands-on in the last 2 weeks. If you can't get it right, look up in here where Hal is, and you could write to him, and he'll help you through it. But you need... I don't know if I can get it in the picture. You need this transformer. Okay, so this transformer will take... It's made by Rode, and it's called the VXL Plus, because they got 3 models. VXL, VXL Plus, and VXL Pro. The VXL Plus is the one that you want, and I believe that they're $30. And it's the Rode VXLR Plus. So let me say that clearly again, because I don't want to lead anybody astray. VXLR Plus. Okay? And what you do is you plug this into your mixer or anything XLR. All right? And then I put a regular mic cable on it, because this cord from my head only comes out to here. I can't go over here because the mixer's over there. So Hal said, plug in your XLR cable. And I'm thinking like, duh, why didn't I think of that? Who's the stupid one now? It's me. Okay? So I have the... so what the problem is this is a TS. You got TS, TRS, and TRSS, or TRRS. That's the number of rings. I was going to pull it out and show it to you, but you'd lose me. Okay? So what this does is if I turn off my phantom power, you'll lose me. So it takes the 48 volt and it brings it down to 3 volts. That's what this transformer does. B&H sells them, and Amazon sells them. I don't know who else sells them. But click on my link for anything, even a camera, and then go to what you want, and I'll get credit for you buying that. Okay? So that is the way it's connected. It needs 3 volts. The camera will, when this plugged into the camera, it worked. Duh. When I plug it in here, it didn't work. When I plugged it anywhere else, directly into my SSL2 amplifier, no worky, baby. Okay? It needs, and 48 volts will blow it out. Okay? So it needs to transform it down, John, down to 3 volts. So there might be others. There might be even knockoffs. All right? But the one that I have is the Rode, R-O-D-E. Nestle's makes the very best. Okay, R-O-D-E. VXLR. So it's XLR, VXLR Plus. So the regular XLR will not bring it down. It will not transform down the power. Okay? And it won't pass through the power. So you'll buy it and it'll be no joy. Okay? You could buy an XLR to the 3.5, no joy. Okay? You have to buy the transformer that brings it down. Now, I'm spending extra time on that because Hal finally sent me his, and he gifted it to me. Here, I'm sending it to you. Merry Christmas! And I plugged it in, and it works. Okay? So, thank you, Jesus. And thank you, Hal. So, I got the best friends in the world, honestly. And then when 2 Fridays ago, when I said I need to plug the new ZR in and it's a micro, Saturday, the next day, I don't know how the heck he did that. I had the adapter. So I was able to plug it in directly into my system. Hal's an angel. He's a blessing from the Lord. Okay, John? So I just spent a little extra because it'll drive you crazy trying to figure out how to make it work. And you'll eventually come to the conclusion, well, I have to run it through my camera and then run it out of the HDMI to get the sound and the blah, blah, blah. No, get the transformer from Rode. And I think they have knockoffs, but I don't know if the knockoffs work, and I'm not interested. I got what I need, okay? So what I did have against this mic was the price. And I'm not going to tell you the price, okay? Because to me, it shouldn't be that price. But it is, and it taints my, whatchamacallit, my attitude towards it. So thanks for coming in, John. Roy says the tiny HDMI is, yep, the worst feature. That's the biggest sin that they put on that. The ZR could use anamorphic. Oh, sure. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. I want that. Here's Carmine Taverna Photography. Wow, that's quite a name. How you doing? Love you. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Hello, Peter from Manhattan. Is it snowing up there? They were talking about the winds on the Macy's parade. For me, it's not Thanksgiving unless I watch the Macy's parade while I'm preparing the turkey and stuffing it. No, I don't put the stuffing in. You don't put your stuffing in and cook it in the turkey. That is the biggest no-no you could do, okay? But anyway, this is not a turkey lesson. I did record my whole turkey this year. So what I did is I brined it. I pressure cooked it in the Instant Pot, but it was a different brand. And then I finished it in the oven a la Alton Brown. If you don't know who Alton Brown is, he's one of the better cooks that I like. Nasty little man, but he's usually spot on. So yeah, I did my aluminum foil tent and all that kind of stuff, if you guys know, if you guys are into cooking. So Manhattan is checking in New York. What did you guys do with New York? Who did you elect over there? I can't believe. I said I wasn't going to get into politics, but damn! Pisses me off. Anyway, Jim says, the sound is awesome and the headset mic really cleans up the scene. That mic is $10. Dear Lord Jesus. What? How does that compete with my $600 mic? Well, you know, part of it is Hal. He got me to take my equalizer, and I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of changes on this equalizer. I'm looking at the buttons, and he connected it through a ring insert. For those of you that know what that is, it rings a bell. Those of you that don't bother. It's way up here, okay, way over my head. And he put a ring insert here, and he stuck it in there, and he plugged it in here. And then we got online, and he fine-tuned it. Well, Hal is professional at this. He gets hired to come and run the cameras or the audio for your commercial that's being filmed, higher-end commercials, or even low-end. He's got a couple of clients that don't know how to do YouTube worth shit, okay? And he will go bring his camera equipment, his sound equipment, and record it. He does the churches, where he runs the cameras at the churches. We're talking about not someone at our level, someone above and beyond our level, okay? Can fine-tune audio just like that. Can fine-tune cameras, connections just like that. I mean, he thinks that I am a jungle in here, and I am. Cable management is supposed to be key. Sly used to say that, okay? But it's working, and I ain't touching it. If he wants to come here and fix it, come on down, baby. I love Hal. Trinidad and Tobago, J.G. Haiti is here. Hi, love you. Thank you for coming in. Trinidad and Tobago. You guys know where that is? It's over that way. I'm pointing a little bit west. Or is it west or east? of Key West, because the Florida goes like that, okay? So he's saying greetings, and I'm saying greetings, and I love you. Thank you for being here. By the way, you guys that have not are new and have not seen me, I run this is my Christmas set, 24/7, 365. So don't be bitching to me in April and why you're on a Christmas set. My set is the Christmas set. That is my thing, okay? Before Dad passed away, he passed away in 2015. So I've been broadcasting since 2007, maybe somewhere in that area, 2008. And this was Dad's office. Okay, so we inherited the house after my dad left for heaven and my mother. So he came out of the office, and I was using the next room over, which is like 3 times the size of this room for you guys that have been here. Okay, so he saw me videoing, and it was during the Christmas season. And I'm the one that puts the tree up and takes the tree down. Okay, which is a whole other story all in itself. Because I put the tree up by myself and I take the tree down by myself, and I just got pissed off because there's 4 brothers. I can't get help from anybody, and a mother and a father, okay? So I went on strike. That's it. I put the tree up one year and I said, unless you guys are here and we do it together, I'm not taking it down no more. So my mother started complaining and moaning. It's January, it's February, but the tree's still up. I said, get the boys together. We'll do it together. Nobody wanted to help. See, what happens is you do it once or twice or 50 times, and they think it's your job. And it's not my job, okay? I wanted to do it together. So the tree has been up in our house since 2009, and now I never took it down. I just started building. I put my train set around the bottom and all that kind of good stuff. That's not in here, okay? That is in the bigger room where I had the room to do that. So my set is the Christmas room, and that's why it got dubbed the Christmas room. I actually tried to get away from the Christmas room, and I got hell for like, where we watch you because of the Christmas room, okay? So my dad came out, and I was up against the blank wall recording, and he said, you know, over to your left, the most beautiful scene you've ever wanted to see. Why are your cameras over here? My parents were into photography, okay? My mother was a professional photographer. So I said, lo and behold, the man is right. So the next video I did, I moved the camera, and I did the background as a Christmas background. And since I didn't take the Christmas tree down anymore, you know why I didn't? I just explained it, okay? I stayed with the Christmas room. It does a number of things. Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. We don't get into fights in the Christmas room. We love each other here, okay? Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. It actually witnesses to what my faith is, Christianity. I don't have to say a word. I don't have to shove it down anybody's throats. A person can be Jewish. It could be a Buddhist. They could be anything they want. I respect everyone's choice for their own faith, okay? But don't deny me my choice. So it's witnessing for me. It's a room that's for safety in terms of we get along here. And if you're the kind of guy that doesn't get along, bang, zoom to the moon, Alice. You're gone. I won't be mean about it, but you'll be disappearing, and you won't even know you're disappearing. Okay? We're actually a family here, whether you realize it or not. And I enjoy that. I actually, last Friday, I wasn't feeling very well because of the sugar bullshit that was going on. But I actually missed you. It's like, I really want to be with them. Okay? So, that's where we are. So, Trinidad and Tobago, I left off with you. Bop, bop, bop. Roy is saying the ZR is looking better. Low energy, that's what coffee is for. Well, thank you. Now you tell me. Where have you been all my life? No screen is very good, straight out of the box. Yeah. Bop, bop, bop. And Roy says, we love your Christmas room, Peter. There you go. Okay, so we have finished our show. I want to share with you so you guys can go. You don't have to hang out because now I'm going to share, I would think, a little miracle that happened for me. I have a string trimmer, Greenworks with the battery, okay? And this guy that's an he's a photographer. He's in Arizona, but he also has a landscaping channel. And I watched him, and you got a landscaping channel, blah, 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 blah. You know, we get them talky. Photographers never shut up, okay? And he has the same Greenworks string trimmer that I have. The Weed Whacker. You know what I'm talking about. You guys that are too lazy to get out and do some yard work, okay? I have electric lithium lawnmower, blower, string trimmer, edger. Anything else? No. Okay. So he told me, you got to get this new head for your string trimmer. The head is the part where the string comes out. It goes zzz, cuts the weeds. Okay. I said, okay, I'll buy it. I bought it. We had the Black Friday. Price was wow. You could say that again. You could say that backwards. Okay. Well, I got it. The damn thing didn't work. So I got him on the phone. I looked up his photography and I called and his wife answered the phone. Hello? Because they were expecting a scam or a sales call. So they're in Arizona. They're not like Miami where everybody's hello, you know. Everybody's Latin here. So I finally got through to him. We tried everything, couldn't make it work. So I packed it up. I got a return receipt from Amazon and I need to take it down to UPS. So I said a prayer. If there's a way for me to make this work, Lord, show me how. Okay? So I was putting on the old head back after I packed up the new one. Okay? And I dropped it and it split open. Didn't break. But I got to see the innards. And the innards had this little piece. I said, oh, that was in the adapter kit. I didn't use that. So I had to open up what I got, and I put that adapter piece to match the old head that I had. The reason I like this head, I'll explain that in a minute, okay? But I like it, all right? So I got it to work. I put it on, and it's like, dang, God answered my question. Don't tell me you haven't prayed a prayer and you think God hasn't answered you, because a lot of my prayers work out that way. That's just the way it is, okay? That's the way it is, okay? So I put it together. I went outside to use it. Every time I bumped the head, I got less string. It was sucking it in. It's rotating the wrong way. I said, oh, shit. After all that, and Jesus showed me how to make it work, is this and that, the darn thing don't work anyway. So you know what? This time I put it in ChatGPT. Okay. I'm still working on that prayer, okay, because I did ask, show me how to make it work. And it said that spool that goes inside where you run the string through and then you turn it, and it sucks it all in. Okay. That spool spins one way this way. If you pull the spool out and flip it and put it back, it makes the string shoot out the other way. It worked. I went out and did string trimming, and the string shoots out. So the difference is when you bump the thing down, that bump that you do over and over and over, it's kind of like having sex. You wear out. Well, maybe not. Okay? It wears out, and then you got to replace that piece. Well, on this one, which is called the Speed Head, okay, from Shendoa or something like that, there isn't a little bump button that wears out and breaks and cracks that comes with the Greenworks. This one's got a flat plate, and the flat plate pops off. So if you wear it down, you just buy another flat plate and pop it back on. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, okay? So it winds up being something really good. Now my string trimmer works. So I had a miracle. That's my miracle. It isn't large, like I asked God. I would like a few $1 million, Lord. There's things I want to do, you know. Tesla, hello, that's for me. A little selfish. New house with thick walls for the hurricanes, that's for me. A little selfish, okay. But then there's people I want to help too, okay, and that kind of stuff. But it's hard to do it when you ain't got no cash. So God answers that prayer with the string trimmer, and I was so thrilled because I really had the sucker packed up. She was, if it's a she, it had to be a he because it was a pain in the butt, okay. And it was going to go to the UPS, which, by the way, the lines at the UPS store now are crazy because there's so many people returning things. And I can imagine after Christmas, it's going to be worse. So, all right. That brings me down to the end. Next Friday, God willing, and the bridge isn't up. What will we talk about? I have no clue. Okay. Maybe we'll look into the A7 V a little more. The camera's not out, so, but the ZR is here. And I got it, the ZR did not, I'll bet you it's getting power. Randy, why'd you fall asleep? I need to wake him up. We're done anyway. Okay. So, that's pretty much it. What's my two sayings? I like to close out with Randy saying, but God willing, and the bridge isn't up. Next Friday, we are 20 days. What's today? The 5th? We are 20 days till Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I do have reverb. Watch this. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your friends. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring me some figgy pudding. Oh, bring me some figgy pudding. Bring me some figgy pudding. Oh, yeah, bring it right here. I'm not going till I get some. I'm not gonna go till I get some. I'm not gonna go till I get some. So bring some right here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for whoever's birthday it is this week. We all love you. Yes, we do. All right, guys. Thanks for a great show tonight. Thanks for coming and visiting with me. Let's turn the church button off and talk to you normally. And God willing, and the bridge isn't up. And my goal is the air. I'm sorry. My goal is the sky and not the grave. In other words, I don't want to die. I want to go up in the rapture. And I have a link to a t-shirt that's got that on there. Because that's a t-shirt everybody can wear. It's generic. All right. All right. So if you're watching this on the rewind, thank you so much. I love you guys just as much. And do give a thumbs up on the rewind. Okay. And do give a thumbs up or a comment on the rewind. Say hello to Peter. I'm Peter. Nice to meet you. All right. And I will be having my turkey video that I recorded out in time because people cook turkeys not only for Thanksgiving. Guess when else they cook a turkey? A big, big turkey. Okay. They cook one for, whatchamacallit, Christmas. And let me tell you, the turkey, I got compliments this year. Did a good job. All right. Love you guys. The ZR, it made it through the whole thing and didn't poop out. All right. So thank you, God, for that. Catch you guys. What else? I told you about my new Instagram. I told you about my new blog. And I told you about, well, there was nothing else to tell you. I just told you some stories. All right, so we're in the Christmas mood. I'm going to watch a Christmas movie tonight. They're in full force, baby, and you know that's where I be. All right, bye. Later, Gator.